Welcome back to the show. I'm Jamil. This is a boy named Jamil. You guys saw the title. So let's get right into it. This is what is in my camera bag 2022. And I realized that I have not done one of these in 2 years. The last time I did it was beginning of 2020. And we all know what happened in 2020. I think I remember making it literally like February or March, and then we know what happened, right? We lived through a pandemic. There were murder hornets. Do you guys remember the murder hornets? Yeah, and then somehow in 2 years, I I aged 15 years. I mean, the grays. Look at the grays. By the way, I am filming on the A7 III, so I'm not super comfortable with this autofocus, but we're gonna see what happens. Let's get right into the bag. We'll come back to the bag, but we'll get right into it because there's a lot of new stuff if you guys watched the last video. In fact, there's all new stuff. So let's get into it. Let's open this bad boy up, and then right off the bat, we're gonna get into the main shooter. You guys know it. You guys love it. It is the Sony A7 IV. You guys have seen my videos on it. You guys have seen tons of videos on it. If I were going to talk about my top 3 favorite things, I'm going to say autofocus. Right off the bat, autofocus. I'm going to go with this little switch. I don't know if you guys can see this little switch right here, but basically what it does is it allows for amazing run and gun hybrid shooting, just being able to switch back and forth from photo to video. Amazing. And then the last thing I'm gonna say is this little flippy screen. Now, I think you guys might have heard me say before that I'm not a big fan of flippy screens, but when I'm shooting portraits and I'm in portrait mode, and sometimes, you know, like I said, I've aged 15 years, not having to get down on my back to get some shots, you know, has come in handy. I'll admit it. I'll admit when I'm wrong. The flippy screen has done great things for me. So those are my 3 favorite things. Coming in, maybe a tie for third is the full-size HDMI. Love it, but I digress. All right, so the backup camera is the A7R4. And I actually had this camera before the A7 IV. And the reason that I bought this camera is because I really like printing my photos. And just being able to print large photos, 61 megapixels, just that definition, just that detail in those photos. Whenever I think about capturing a photo or making a photo that I think I'm gonna print, it comes down always right back to the A7R4. Coincidentally, there we go. You guys might see that I have these extensions down here on both cameras. That is just to give me a little bit more, you know, grip, because you guys have heard me talk about this before. I got big, huge basketball hands, and so just having a little bit more to hold on to has made all of the difference. And if you guys are wondering where that's from, that is by Makey or Make or Mike. No one knows how to say it. I don't know how to say it. You don't know how to say it, so stop it. Stop it right now. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is my 35 millimeter 1.2. You guys have heard me talk about this a lot as I get into filmmaking and just getting into the 35 millimeter focal length on as a whole. This lens has been spectacular. Not as fast as the G Master. It's not as fast as the G Master. It's quite heavy, and it's really expensive if you buy it new. But as I have said on this channel a lot, if you can find things used, go for it. Get it used. I know I got this lens for a couple $100 off. But the best thing about this lens is that 1.2 when it's attached to this A7 IV. I'm telling you, this low light, it's night vision. It's night vision. Even with the A7 II, which we'll get into in a moment, this lens is just a powerhouse at night. And so whenever you can get a 1.2, get the 1.2. That's all I'll say about that. Next lens in the bag, obviously, is my 85mm G Master 1.4. It's old, it's slow focusing, it's loud, but oh my gosh, is it still my favorite focal length. An 85mm is just how I built my career, and it's where I live my photography, my portrait photography life. And so every time I think about maybe selling this 85mm G Master, I just can't bring myself to it. I mean, look at that glass. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of glass. Even the coating's starting to come off. I've used it so much. This lens has gotten a lot of love, and it's going to continue to get love because barring a version 2, which I hear is on the way, this is going to be in my bag for years and years and years to come. And then 135 Sigma 1.8, again, not as fast as the G Master, but the image that you get out of this Sigma is just really good. And I know a lot of people might ask, you know, if you have an 85, why do you need a 35? Because sometimes you need that extra reach. And I don't shoot zooms a lot, and people live by 70 to 200s. And so I'm not a 70 to 200 shooter. And with my A7 IV, if I need, you know, that extra reach past 135, I can shoot in APS-C mode, Super 35 mode on this camera, and I can still get 24 megapixel photos, you know, and so I get that extra reach that I need. But just the compression that you get from a 135 in portraits, they're just beautiful images. And so as a portrait photographer, I think you need a 135 in your bag. If I was going to change this, no, I wouldn't even change it. I love this 135. Yeah, I'm not going to change it. What am I talking about? And then the other lens that I have that I just got recently is the 50mm 1.2, which I'm recording this on right now. Beautiful, beautiful lens. So fast, just lightning quick. Really, really silent. The focusing is, so when I'm making videos, when I'm making, you know, short videos for reels, or as I use it for, you know, these talking heads or whatever, it's just a really silent lens. It's really fast. It's so sharp. It's so sharp. It's so sharp. Like I wish you guys could use it. I wish we could all just like get together and have like a Sony homies party, and we could all just take turns shooting the 50mm, just so you guys can see. And you guys know that I have tested out some other 50mm, and yeah, there are some cheaper ones out there, but I think you just get what you pay for. And I think, oh, another reason that I got it is because I got this lens for like $300 off, and so it was just a bargain. And so this 50mm, along with this A4, or if you have an A1, I just think it is the new like portrait shooting like staple. A7 IV, A1, 50mm 1.2, just amazing portraits, like amazing portraits. All right, so let me move on. 50mm 1.2 G Master, amazing lens. And then the last lens I want to talk about is a lens that's not regularly in my bag, but it is a lens that is with me every single day, like every day, whether I have shoots or not, it's with me, and that's the 20mm 1.8 G, not G Master, G lens by Sony. It is usually attached to my A7C, which is being used to record this overhead shot, but it's just an amazing lens. Super fast autofocus, quiet, sharp. It's just great. And so this is my main vlogging lens, and it is also the widest the widest focal length lens that I have. And so it comes in handy whenever I need to shoot, you know, big sprawling landscapes or whatever. But just having this 20mm, if you guys haven't seen my video actually on this 20mm, I'm gonna link it up here. It's just a great little lens. Again, on the A7R4 Super 35 mode, you have a 34, 33mm lens or whatever. And I haven't even talked to you guys about clear image zoom, but I did make a video on it. It didn't do super well, but I still think it's a good video. I'll link that up here too. It's a video on how to turn, you know, a lens like this into like a zoom lens where you can get 3 focal lengths. So I'll link that video. I don't want to talk too much about it, but 20mm. And then on this lens, I have a Peter McKinnon version of the Lowepro ND filter. And then this is 82mm. This is the 2 to 5 stop. I don't know. It works. I don't know that it's worth the $250, but whatever. I tried another one and I hated the other one. It was by a company called Nisi or something like that. And I hated that one. So this is the one that I use. This is always on this lens. And like I said, really quickly, I do have the A7C. Love that camera. It is with me every single day of the week. I never leave my house without the A7C, just because I'm always like recording myself for vlogs and stuff like that, even things that I don't post. If you want to get used to talking to the camera, take your camera with you everywhere, talk to it, whether you're gonna post it or not, and just get used to it. So that's how I got used to talking to the camera, and I take this camera everywhere. It is a low light beast. If you haven't tried it, if you haven't heard about it, it's a great camera. I made another video on it. I'll link it here if you guys want to see it. I shot a wedding in this really dark venue. The video is just chef's kiss. And so I'll link that. But A7C is what is shooting this top down, and it is the camera that is with me every single day. Fix the hat. All right, and so let's get into it. In this pouch here, this is the pouch that I carry my Atomos Ninja recorder in. So I keep all of the recorder attachments, the SSD, the hot shoe mount, the cradle for being able to connect the SSD to the computer, HDMI cables that I would need for the recorder. I keep that in here, and it fits down into there super snugly. And then in this pouch up here, I keep batteries. So whenever I know that I'm going to be doing a lot of shooting, I keep spare batteries for my cameras, and then these are spare LP batteries that I use for the Ninja recorder. And then I also have 2 smaller LP batteries that are powering these lights back here. So I keep those in here also. And I keep a charger and I also keep a battery pack. Like it's like a RAV Power battery pack, but that's packed up in the suitcase upstairs for the trip. I keep a blower, and usually I only have one of these lights, but this is an Aputure MC. It's a great little light, RGB, great. There's magnets in it. Like I said, I like to shoot at night a lot, and so sometimes you find yourself in need of a little bit extra light, and so if you can bring your light, I just keep a light on me. And so the light that I keep with me at all times is this Aputure MC. The great thing about this light is that it is RGB. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting this back on here. It's RGB, and you can control the full color spectrum from your cellular device, your cell phone. So it's perfect to be able to do that. And then in this pouch, I keep all of the cables that I would need. So I keep all of the charging cables in here, all of the HDMI cables and stuff like that. USB cables, all of those type of cables I keep in this pouch. It looks a little empty right now, but that is only because I am still packing this bag for this trip that I'm going on soon. And so that is everything that I would have in my camera bag in this compartment. And then this holds my, holds my laptop, which is a 17-inch Dell XPS. It holds it perfectly. I have no complaints. You can see that there's a zipper here. The zipper actually works to zip around the laptop. So that's one of the things I love about this bag, is that it just holds a ton of stuff, including the laptop. But usually what I have in that compartment is my tablet, which you guys have heard me talk about a lot, which is the Samsung Tab S6. And so that just gives me a larger screen to be able to review photos with models and with clients whenever I go out and shoot. So that's usually in here. And then you guys can see that there's 2 pockets up here. And I don't carry a lot of stuff in there, just because I find that when there's stuff in there, it does make it harder to close this thing down. But right now what I have in here is, I'll show you guys. I do have a Rode Wireless Go system. It's the original one. I do want to get the version 2. If I end up doing this podcast that I'm thinking about doing with Mel, then we'll get the version 2. But for now, these ones work great. I'm usually by myself filming and stuff like that, so these work great. And then I also keep a Rode Lav. You guys don't need to see that. You've seen a Rode Lav. Oh, probably the most important thing, 2 things in my camera bag, hands down, is a little lens cleaner brush thing. So it's got like the little brush so that you can, brush the little stuff off of your lens. And it also has this little thing where you can like shine it up. If you guys don't have one of these, a lens cleaning kit is really, really cheap. It's not something that's super sexy to talk about, being in your camera bag, but everyone should have one of these to be able to clean their lens off, to get the little dust off. If you guys have shot with the A7 III, you guys know that it is notorious for getting dust on the sensor. And so don't put this on your sensor, but what you should put on your sensor, if you're comfortable doing it. I don't think that everyone should be out cleaning their sensor, but I keep sensor swabs on me. And so that if I get anything on my sensor, if my little guy somehow gets a fingerprint on it, because they do, your little guy's gonna touch your camera, he's gonna get a fingerprint on it somehow. You just get one of those lens swabs on there and, gently clean your lens. You know what I mean? I'm gonna attach this lens to this camera real quick. Lens attached to the camera, right? The camera is in the bag. One of the things that I love about this bag is that it opens from the back, which means that when you are carrying it and it's on your back, no one can come up from behind and like open it. I don't know that people would try to do it, but irrational fear just tells me that someone's gonna try to do it at some point. And so it does have access from the side. And so I can just unzip it from here and then boom, get to my camera, never have to put my bag down. And so that's my favorite part of this bag. It's just being able to get into it from that. And then I love just how rugged it is. This bag is going on 2 years old. This is a 2-year-old bag. Yeah, I've had it for 2 years old. And aside from some scuffs and some dirt, this bag has held up. And then another thing that I love about it is that there's 4 ways to get into the main compartments of this bag. There's a big zip up here, and this thing is hard, so I can unzip it from here. And sometimes I actually carry my camera right up in there, but you can carry a lot of stuff in there. It has another little pocket that you can put your keys or your wallet in. Has a little SD card holder that I carry my SD cards in sometimes. So just a lot of space. There's also these two side pockets. And in this side pocket, I have a multi-tool that has a whole bunch of different size, I can't remember what it's called at this point, but it has like this little tool. Will it focus on it? Yeah, so it has like this little tool, and you guys know that this tool is just everywhere. You need this tool for everything. And then I have a bag. I bought a bunch of stuff from Small Rig, a bunch of cages and stuff like that. And so you always need a different size of one of those little L-shaped things. So there's a whole bag of them, and then a bunch of mounting screws that I just keep in my bag at all times, because you never know when you got to rig out your camera. And I want to stay prepared, man. You got to be prepared to rig out your camera. And yeah, so I keep that in there. And then, oh, at the bottom of this bag, there's a little pouch down here that has a rain cover for the bag. I don't want to pull it out now just because it's kind of hard to get back in. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to get back in. So I keep that on there. So I won't show you that. And then the last thing that I want to show you about this bag is that it has all of these little hooks. You guys can see that I have a carabiner on here, so you can just attach things to the front of this, all over this bag, here on the sides. It's just amazing. So if you have like these hooks, you can just carry things around on this bag like the whole time. I don't know, it's just extremely modular that way. And so yeah, and then also it has these hooks on it. It has these straps. I took the other part off. I don't know why. I literally just had it, but I took it off, and so you can strap things to it like a jacket or a tripod. So it's just a really good bag. The one thing that I do wish was better is, like, there's this hard cover up here. I wish that it was also at the bottom so that the bag could stand up on its own without tipping over. And so that's the one down part about this bag, but it's comfortable, holds a bunch of stuff, and I really like it. In fact, I almost bought a second one just because I took some of the inserts out and now I can't find the inserts. And so I was gonna buy a whole new bag just to have the inserts. And so that's how much I like this bag. But that's everything. That's everything in my camera bag. Yeah, there's not much to say. This was kind of long, 23 minutes. We'll get it down. But yeah, so that's everything. Some new stuff, and yeah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this video if you got this far. Oh, the last thing is this mic. This mic is always attached to that camera for vlogging. This is the Rode Video Go 2 mic, and it sounds the way that you guys are hearing it. I think I like it. I think I like it. Anyway, I'm Jamil. This has been the Boy Named Jamil show, and I'll see you guys in California. All right, peace. So I can't remember the guy's name. Dovey. Anyway, he made a good point. And if you guys are watching this far, let me know in the comments. He said that YouTube, instead of YouTube channels, they should be called YouTube shows, because there's not a lot of different content like on A Boy Named Jamil. A Boy Named Jamil is just content by me, by Jamil. There's not like, right? So it's like a gear show, you know, gear, photo gear, photo shoots and stuff like that. There's not like a car show on this channel. There's not like a baking show on this channel. There's not like, you know, sports games on this channel. So instead of calling them channels, we should call them shows. And I thought that was a really good thought. So if you stuck around this far, in the comments, let me know. Is this A Boy Named Jamil show, or is this the Boy Named Jamil channel? I'm leaning towards show. Let me know. Thanks for watching the show. Peace.